So, we rejoin our party, once again in Hither. Having left the inn at the end of the road, they've begun trotting into the muck as low tide has come to the river. And in the distance, they can make out the silhouettes of various causeways and the creaking of wood and the smell of moldering, untreated deckwork. The fog is thick around you, and your vision only caps out at about 40 feet. However, with between 20 and 40 feet, things are partially obscured from the fog, and 20 feet up close are at least vision as normal. 10 feet up is where the fog cuts off, so in all the instances where you guys are able to fly or see things that clearly tower over, such as in the far distance, you can kind of make out a mesa of sorts to the rough approximation of northwest. What do you all do? Okay, do you guys have a marching order you'd like to be in? You don't have to be in a straight line. You can also move side by side or as a loose cluster of no particular order. Yep, okay. You schlock through this mud, your shoes utterly ruined, but you do make your way towards the pines ahead. But behind you guys, as you're making your way across the riverbed, the water begins to swell once more, and the path behind you is closed off once again by a river. Yet ahead is a ladder, sort of like a crude ladder, pulling up to the docks and causeways above. And while the map itself here doesn't quite illustrate it, all of these all of these little like docks and runways and whatnot. Oh, I can actually move these now. Ooh, what was that? Unfortunately, there isn't a map for this, so we're going to be doing Theory of Mind, and I'll probably be making maps going forward. But you guys ascend and make it up to these platforms. A foggy march stretches out before you. Rickety causeways made of wooden planks form a wide web-like structure above the bog. 300 feet away, many of these causeways converge on an enormous ivy-colored tree stump that rises a good 10 feet above the 20-high-foot fog bank that enshrouds it. And in fact, you guys are, while you guys are on the seems like I'm double checking to make sure whether or not this is above the fog itself, like the causeways. Let's see. Oh, no, it looks like the fog here extend. It says explicitly 20 feet high here. So it does extend up to the causeways. You hear the sloshing of water kind of running up against the various pillars that support these beams that creak beneath your guys' feet. And each one of these causeways are only 5 feet wide, so it is single file here. So now there is an order required. Okay. Okay. Just getting these sorted here real quick. And it should let me... Oh, well. Other way. That's an... There we go. So, with the... In fact, in that case, let me just... Whoop. 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 Okay. And you guys are moving along these platforms, winding, twisting. You come across one fork in the way in the path. Which do you go, left or right? Okie dokes. Roll that 1d2. Alright. Now you continue onwards and make your way to yet another fork. And as you guys are coming up to this pass, Howie, there's a little something for you. An odd feeling suddenly comes over you as you're aware that somewhere along the way, a hunched, hooded figure has joined the group. Yeah, he's right behind you. Yep. Like literally, like he's trailing alongside you, equidistant to the rest. And yeah, currently he's got his hood over his head. But he has like kind of like a grin on his sliding across his lagomorphic face as you're signaling your group, and throws back his hood. And let me... Yeah. Yep. He throws back his hood, revealing this 15-foot long blue scarf as bagpipes sound in the distance. Roll for initiative. Also, here's the fella who snuck up behind you. And I will say, let me see here. He has no skill in this. So, give me an investigation check, real quick, Howard. Also, when you roll for initiative, make sure you've got your token selected. No worries. I can re-add it. What was your? I need to double check it. I've got multiple windows open at the moment. Oh yeah. Oh yep. Yeah, you're fine. Maybe they did. Intelligence check rolls 8. Can't find. Hit the button. That's some damn good roleplay. Okay, yep. Big red button. Yeah, you definitely notice the hot brand literally being brandished in his hand right now. If you'll pardon the unfortunate pun. And let me find some combat music. Oh, also there's this here first. Phase this out. And so we'll start with Howard here. You hear as your turn begins, bagpipes kind of blasting in the distance, and that song you heard when you guys first entered Prismere sounding off. This dude literally has his own backup band playing his theme song. Yeah, if you need a refresher, unfortunately my throat's a little dry right now, so I'll have to drink some of this, but I would be willing to sing it again. But I do have the lyrics, and I'll post them here in the chat for you guys, so you guys can read them once more. This D-fuel's flying right through me. Oh. Howard, what do you do? He's right next to you, and all along the group, you're basically in a straight line at the moment. Oh, well that is taking the attack action, and then instead of attacking, like instead of making a weapon attack, you now, the 5.5 has a streamlined, it's like, it's an attack and you just do the thing. But I've always liked the contested checks, and this was built around probably contested checks. So it would be an acrobatics if you're the aggressor, and the defender can choose between athletics for the aggressor, acrobatics or athletics for the defender. The 5.5 rules are a little more streamlined, but they're kind of like less engaging. The contests feel like they keep you on your toes. Otherwise, it's just, if you're AFK and a grapple occurred, you'll wake up on your turn and you're like, why can't I move? This kind of like keeps you more engaged in the turn to turn, at least that's my opinion. Okay. Try to knock him sideways. Okay. Let's see if his acrobatics can... Yo, whoa, Buster! And he falls back into the water. Give me an insight as you're as he's falling off. You notice a grin on his face as he's taking a plunge. Yep. And but you do notice that as he's falling, his like scarf trails behind him. So right now he hasn't big gut, like he's just kind of like, oh wait, hold on. I guess per the rules he doesn't start falling till the start of his turn. So right now he's kind of in Looney Tunes hang time off the edge of the deck, but you do see a grin on his face with a scarf lagging behind him. I think you would have to have your action to do that per se, because you would have to be able to like either it would mechanically either be like you grappling him and moving him over, which could be done, but that would be an action, or it would be a readied action to kind of swap places and move once he gets to your position. But in either case, it would require an action to do so. However, I will say, you could give him space by moving forward. And granted, the sheet, what were the characters here are, these are kind of relative position, but I will say that you can kind of like set yourself a little more to one side to kind of give him space. Or if you're worried about being in the way of anything ranged, you can drop prone. That's perfectly fine. True, true. A game theory. So is that it for your turn? Bonus action. Well, no, you can't. Nah, there's nothing you can really do at this level with it. So we go to Maxwell. What do you do? The bagpipes seem to be getting closer, and you can feel as though they're encroaching, and will probably, maybe, just maybe, the silhouettes are cresting into vision and will be available at the end of your turn. Or will appear at the end of your turn, I should say. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna move you guys. I'm gonna move your tokens a little bit here. I'm gonna move this bad boy over here for a moment, because this works for me for now. Because this might matter in a sec. Okay, thank you. And, okay, one more time. Sorry about that. I had to fix the thing on my end. What are you doing with your action? Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha. You get a knowing approval, and the sprite dutifully sort of exit your pocket, one arm, kind of a tiny little napkin draped over it, begins kind of fluttering just straight ahead and sits at the ready to move in. Oh, okay. So you're right. You know, you're right. Then he'll use his action this turn, and will basically, as he flies up, he gives you that knowing nod and wiggles his nose, disappearing, flitting just above you. And do you need a oops? Do you need a sprite token? Okay. Then, is that all for your turn? It's okay. Mage armor up. That will be all. Then before Dimitri's turn, you'll see two skiffs kind of emerging under and around these causeways across the various winding paths of murky, brackish water. Actually, I guess it's not technically brackish if it's flowing. What would it be? Disgusting nonetheless. Putrid. I like that. Putrid works. And then I gotta move this. Not quite yet. Unfortunately, it's loading all of them to the... Here we go. Okay. So you see two of them, or so each one of these skiffs has two rowers, one playing bagpipes, and one sort of standing as like a lookout of sorts. And both of the lookouts themselves spot you as they're going to join initiative here. In fact, I'm going to do... Let me just put one extra demo token up here. So that way I can use it to roll, and I'll keep them basically as like all brigands will be on the same initiative and all snipers will be on the same. I say sniper, but they're like, they got slings. And they're just standing there like with their eyes peeled, and they're both pointing at Dimitri, as he was the closest one. Let me find... Like, hey, wait, that's one of them before! Trying to find... Oh. Copy, damn it, there it is. They added so many options for your right-clicking in Roll20. It's actually... It's been driving me nuts. And it, like, I'll probably get used to it again. But they... Oops, I didn't mean to ping that up there. But yeah, these guys aren't part of the fight. These guys are just what I'm using for my initiative rolling here. There we go. Because if you guys end up like removing them from the turn order, they would just disappear. Now the downside is I'd have to keep track of all of them, making sure they all go, but I think it's not that difficult with this small number. We'll see if it works going forward, but descending. Dimitri, what do you do? So while he's in Looney Tunes hang time, you yeet a skewer at him. Give me that roll there. Dokes. That is absolutely gonna hit, and he will take a... As your javelin grazes past him, leaving a gashing wound, his smile sours, and he leers onto you with almost kind of like a personal vexation crossing his eyes. Oh, you didn't do that much damage. Hold up. There we go. Oh, no, I meant to write -5, but I typed 5. So you basically would have like immediately like he's like, yeah, that's nothing. Looks down like femoral artery. But yeah. Okie dokes. We go to Agdon, who is going to make his saving throw to not fall off. Hopefully. Well, he begins to trail and fall, and you hear a soft splash in the water. Howie? And then moments later, both Howie and Maxwell hear a kind of like a disturbance of the water under Dimitri. As he swims under the docks, under the causeways, and begins to work his way up. And he pops out in front of Dimitri and uses his sort of with a flail of his brandish, of his brand in front of him. He goes to like threaten you with it before waving his what is your passive perception, by the way? Okay. Yeah, he sort of flutters his scarf right in your face, kind of like blinding you for a moment, and then goes to back away along the causeway, like sort of carefully hopping backwards, jumping 20. He goes to jump 20 feet back. Do you react? He was right in front of you. He basically smacked you with his scarf. Do you react in any way? Okay. Do you have the Sentinel feat? That hits. Roll for damage. Okay. No, if you don't have the feat, this is just whether or not he can still move after an opportunity attack. He got hit. Do you damage? Do you? How does Divine Smite work now? Can you link it? Do you have your bonus action still? Oh, wait, no, it's not your turn. So you can't smite as a reaction. Dang. They nerfed smite. Holy crap, you can't react with it. Huh. That's actually kind of a huge nerf to paladins. Well, you still do damage. Okay. Yeah, as your sword goes to slash, he sort of twists his scarf to kind of mitigate the amount of damage it does. You still find purchase, and you'd still draw blood, but he makes the blow a little grazing by reacting with his scarf to deflect it. Well, you can give me an insight. I'll let you roll insight real quick. With advantage, because it was up close. I'll give you. You have a feeling like this is less to do with the scarf and more to do with something that a skill of his own, a feature, if you will. Okay, and then as he backs up to one of the brigands, kind of pops up in front of you. He sets down his bagpipe from the skiff, and the skiffs themselves begin rowing towards Howard. While this brigand himself draws out his club, says, oh, wait, nope, cancel. Says, time to go night-night, Buster. And he draws his club to go and give you a smack with it. I'm assuming an 18 hits for 3 bludgeoning. Oh, it doesn't? What are they feeding these boys? Boss, I'm gonna need backup over here. And he's going to jump 20 feet along a causeway, perpendicular. Ashai, what do you do? Okay. On whom? I will say you could probably only see the... Well, hold on. 30. You'd probably be... Okay. You can just make out the silhouettes of the 2 brigands on the tollways, but you can see the ones still on the skiffs. Oh, you can only see a silhouette, so if you're trying to make a range that get through the fog, it would be like at disadvantage. Not a bad idea. Mr. Penny, no. You can roll with disadvantage. Give me that hit. Yeah, and 9 is going to sail off into the fog, parting a moat in a wispy path, but not finding any connection. Kind of like just sailing right through the holes in the various bobs and weaves that the scarf leaves behind. Anything else? Okay. We go back to Howie. You see that the 2 of the Harengon or 1 Harengon on each skiff is kind of readying slings and is looking at Dimitri. If you're drawing it as part of the attack, it's fine. It's part, like, and it's a yeah. So, and basically you're assumed, like, when you start combat, unless you already had a weapon brandished, like, that's what you're drawing out at that time. Otherwise, it's like an interaction to stow. You can drop for free and then pull out and attack as part of the action, but you have to pick up your weapon again. Oh, I muted my mic. Okay, I meant to say roll for damage. I'm not sure when my mic muted. I think I was just getting up, like I was telling Mr. Penny to stop climbing. Oof. Oof. Yeah, he's going to ready his sling, and right through the neck, the slinger falls into the brackish muck, and the two brigands. Was this the north or south one? Well, yeah. Well, I put little see the little target icons? There's one on each skiff. Okay. Yeah, he falls off into the water immediately, like kind of like grasping and gasping for air. But that is immediately dispatches him with a wet, unsatisfying plop. And the remaining brigands, hey, boss, they're not messing around. As the one slinger turns his attention to you now and begins to I got used to Foundry for a hot minute there, so I was trying to do a Foundry command. That might explain my problem. Well, apparently these aren't slingers. My mistake. They were holding crossbows, so they did mean a little bit of business. As this guy sort of shakily whips his crossbow over to you. It does an 18 hit. Okay, yeah, as the that 8, he hits you for 8 piercing, and as you're reeling from the damage, let me roll something for him. Oh no, he can't do this. Never mind. Oh no, he can. It's part of the thing. Yep. Yeah, you see it because your passive perception is redonkulous at 17. But you see that he tries to slip into the water to hide from you. And is currently, like, sort of treading water at the moment. Or not treading, but, like, is sort of lightly swimming and is keeping himself low. Trying to use the brackish muck to obscure him. There we go. Oh. You okay? Is there anything else you would like to do, though? You still have your bonus action. And by the way, you notice that you feel something kind of touching your shoulder now. But a kind of a small, soft presence. Yeah, as you go to it's you hear kind of a quiet, please stay still. And we go to Maxwell. Immediately out of the fight. Yeah. Oh, well, yes, trying to hide in the water. Okay. Okie dokes. Hex away. Oh. Oh, well. So what's your Eldritch? How do you Eldritch Blast? Because that's the best flavor opportunity. No, Hex just does it. The Hexes choose a stat. If you care at all. I'm about see my mind immediately went to like Princess Butterfly or Princess Star Butterfly. Okay. Definitely a nasty blow nonetheless to this fellow. Still up, but he's definitely looking a little shocked by the pushback they're getting. Normally people just get beaten black and blue and accept a little bit of robbery. Anything else? Okay. Dimitri, you're up. Shield of Faith, it's one target, yourself or another. And it's a bonus action. Okie dokes. You will have to get a little closer though. He did jump 20 feet away. How far does your breath go? Oh my god, okay. Oh, that's... Okay. He has advantage. That is a success. So he... he's notices a large inhale and what's your, it's a force one, or what's your ice? Okay, so yeah, he notices like the cooling of air sort of crystallizing around him, and that the fog itself almost kind of coalesces for a moment, and you create a pocket where all the fog has kind of managed to... You basically... There's like snow that sort of freshly powder settles before the fog that you cleared goes to close that path. And Agdon just barely, his eyes wide open, is seen dodging your breath weapon. Okay. And then, with a... Let's see... Stop with about 5 feet in front of you. You see Agdon jumping. And just above Howie. Actually, you know what? You're right there. He's gonna go for it. He's gonna run up to you now that it's personal. And is going to give you a nice little old hit with his... he gets 2 attempts with his branding iron. Lovely. First one. An 18 definitely misses, as we've established before. But, I don't think anything gives him advantage at this moment. So a 16... Yeah, both swings of this hot iron fly towards you. And seeing that neither hit is going to find purchase, he is going to attempt to jump back again 20 feet. Even if this opens, yep, there, yeah. He'll accept an opportunity attack that comes his way. Okay, a 16 actually misses. Strength, okay. Thank you. And we go to the brigands, who themselves, the 2 in the skiff to the north, are reaching down to collect their deceased comrade. And the well, look, I guess it would take, yeah, what they're rowing to collect him. And the ones in this, the 2 to the south are going to work together. They're getting their oars up, and one leaps up to the deck, Howie, and the other sort of... let me double check to make sure if I'm reading this, because mechanically they gave him an ability that has no use here. And I just want to make sure I get this right. Actually, yeah. This guy's going to hop up to the deck, and he's going to attempt to grapple and move you. So, first things first. Oh, no worries. Ooh, that's brutal. Noting that for future. But yeah, he's going to put his all into it. He sure ain't, though. Give me your choice of acrobatics or athletics, contesting him. Yeah, you easily shrug off his attempt to move you, as he then is going to try and take a standing leap backwards 20 feet along the causeway. Do you react? Yep, that's why, yep. He's moving, yeah, you get, it would be your reaction. You didn't react to anything else that I know of. Oh, you're right. You know what, you're right. You can always unarmed strike. Yeah, you can try that. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, you go to leg sweep and he's jumps. And you're like, "Oh, yeah, wait, yeah, rabbit." As his buddy clambers up and begins his he's like, "Well, just swing your club, idiot." And goes for a 15 to hit. Does then that's a connect for 6 bludgeoning damage. Black and blue. Oh wait, yes, never mind. +2. Yeah, so. No, that's perfectly fine. Yeah, so you actually have 17 right now. So the club goes, like, you brace yourself and your arms are up and you notice this. Now give us a flavor of how your magic shields him, as it kind of does like a like the blow comes to his wrist. Steven Universe. You know what? Okay, that's fair. Like so like a dragon scale shimmer. I gotcha. So it's just so it matches the same effect that happens whenever you're under moonlight, which is interesting here because you're never going to be under moonlight. But yeah, this group is sort of rowing. They're devoting the rest of their turn rowing away and trying to escape into the fog. As for this fella, he's a little upset that the blow didn't find purchase, but he's going to back up some, and they're going to remain on the causeway as we go to a shy. Yes, you can see him. You guys are basically shoulder to shoulder along this way. That was a big healing word. As and how does and it's, while we're all getting a chance to flavor, how does your healing magic look, Ashai? Okay, okay. This is with beef. I'll just have that up. As things are getting a little more intense for Agadon here. That's your bonus action. You still have your action if you'd like to do anything. I will say though, if you wish to use your action on a spell, it has to be a cantrip. Break this down just a little bit, it might be a little loud. There we go. It seems like the ones that are on the causeways, and perhaps the one that had well, you didn't actually. What is your passive percent? You didn't see it, but there's a few that are still engaged in the fight, but the ones that are pulled out the body are at least disengaging. Okay, I think the nearest one to you, I think they'd all still be at disadvantage. The only ones you'd be able to see at this point would probably be, yeah, they'd all be at disadvantage. So take your pick of whether or not you want the big guy or one of the brigands. Okay, disadvantage, but give it that roll. Actually, is Chill Touch a save or an attack? I'm pretty sure it's an attack. Yeah. Wow. Technically it's disadvantage, but I don't think an 8's gonna make it. Yeah, no, yeah, that your as you strum out your dulcimer, you manifest this spectral hand that lashes out into the fog, and it too misses both attacks. Now having targeted this wily, wascally wabbit. Well, not just that, but also Dimitri's ice breath. This dude is definitely putting in a run and then trying to run the ones. We go to Howie. You're feeling a lot more vim and vigor, but the ones out in the distance are kind of in the fog now, so your ranged attacks will be at disadvantage. Oh, they're in like it's in the like the thin part of the fog, like between the 40 and 20. They're all at least 20 feet from you unless you approach. Except for maybe the one in the water who's kind of just off the dock but yeah, he's trying to like hide in the muck. You can see him, the others can't. But yes. Well, a 19 still hits. Good lord. Wait. Oh, you I don't know if you did your sneak attack. Should that other one? Actually, I'm gonna look back and see if you did sneak attack with that other one. Okay, well then that okay. Okay. Well, in that case, um, a Shy and Howie roll insight. Well, in I would say that a Shy, you managed to barely see that that one uh, crossbowman on the other skiff has just gagged up some water before like just cresting into the silhouette territory of the fog. But as for the one in the water, you still absolutely hit him, but it doesn't do that full good lord amount of damage. But the amusing thing is you still rolled max. So that's why it didn't surprise me that you did 10 damage. I was just like, "Oh wow, you hit like a truck." But no, you absolutely still killed him. So you notice some blood pooling in the water, and the Herringon just kind of like starts to drift idly. But you also notice that the ones in the fog seem to have not noticed by their reactions. I will say that snipers are out of the fight by this time, and I'm going to queue up another song as we go, unless you have any bonus actions or movement you would like to do. Okie dokes. Then with that, we will go to Maxwell. He is about, say, 30-ish feet. It's a silhouette for you, partially obscured, so disadvantage on the attack. Plus, I would say partial cover at this point with Dimitri right in the way of you. The other ones you kind of had at a bit good angle. Ooh. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, these ain't his good ones, Chief. But he rolled a good one himself. I'm pretty sure a nat 20 is gonna make it. La la la, can't hear you. Cantrips be like. And we go to Dimitri. It's here. He's just on the cusp of it. Like if you were to approach 5 feet closer, you would be able to see him clearly. Yes, at the moment. Okay, how fast do you move forward? Like, okay. So I'm just asking, like, do you, like, are you basically moving at your normal combat speed? Or are you just kind of like, okay, oh, okay. Okay, so, like, running forward? Okay. So, briskly. Could you roll me a d8? That's actually... Let me see. Boop, boop, boop. No, you're fine. Yeah, you notice, like, as you sort of shuffle forward in your hurry to get a good sight, You notice that the boards are creaking under you as you sort of cautiously slow your pace into range. And now you've inched forward with that nice little pocket between you guys. Give me that attack. Sails past as he just leans to the side. Anything else? Okay. He is going to once again sort of move forward cautiously, of course. And he is going to brandish his iron to brand with iron. Finally, with a 21 on the first attack. I'm assuming that hits. Okay. Okay. And then, so you take, it was actually, of course he'd roll max damage on 2 of the dice, but you take 13 fire damage. And as the attack connects, you notice that he disappears from you. The pain causes your eyes to close, and once they open, he's gone, scarf and all. And everyone else, you notice him leap to another causeway. And he begins to eye Howie a bit before backing into the thicker fog. As we go to the brigand, who disappears into the thick fog, but you see him south on another bridge, sort of cresting far away from you, Maxwell. Give me a perception check, Dimitri. Yeah, you give yourself a little pat down. Mr. Smiley's gone. We go to a shy. This group is... Oh wait, my mistake. I forgot there's still these two guys back here. Yeah, Howie. They're going to attempt the same thing again, but they are tag team. So one after the other. One moves forward. Or sorry, not your unicorn. Did I get the name wrong? Sorry, Mr. Bright. Yeah, Mr. Bright's gone. So they're going to take turns trying to take a swing at you before backing off each time. First one on you, Howie. An 8's gonna miss, I assume. This is a perfectly good thing he doesn't have advantage. For reasons. But yeah, he's gonna back up to give space for his buddy. As he retreats back into the fog, do you want to make an opportunity attack? Okie dokes. Oh, okay. It's at the start of your turn. You get your reaction back. Oh, unarmed strikes. You still had that. You can like trip with feet and stuff. Only since you tried it last time. That's why I was. Oh yeah. Well then he's gonna attempt to contest that. A 19's really good. Oh yeah, no. In these situations where it's accidental, we go with the first by default. And so yeah, your 19 actually knocks that guy flat, as he ends up having to use half his movement, and he can't make it to the fog, as he just sort of awkwardly gets up and then walks maybe 5 feet away from you. as his buddy jumps in to try and hit you with his club. But since he jumps, he can't... Or, oh, he nat 1. That's not going to hit either. These guys are just a clown show right now as we go to a shy. They're both, the two on the dock are definitely within throw range. The ones off to the side are at disadvantage throw range. Except the ones on the dock are, since it's like a straight line from you, pretty much. They have like a +2 to their AC simply because Howie's in the way. The diaphragm. Oh god, that's gonna connect. Roll damage. In fact, I think you can just, there's like a little damage button even in the chat. There you go. Well, ow! You said they weren't messing around. And we go to Howie. Oops, didn't mean to click that. Okay. So yeah, your bow thunks to the causeway, and you shring your sword out. Oh, good old damage. It's probably on your character sheet. There's like a little bubble that you need to tick. But yeah, that's 6. Yeah, this guy's not looking good after that. Sorry, you cut me! What, you make up your mind! I think... Is that Bumblewick? It looks over at the floating herringon in the water. Any bonus action or anything? Okie dokes. We go to Maxwell then. Okie dokes. He barely passes this time. As you can feel, your magic connects, but he just barely shakes it off. He only got clipped a little bit. Howie, yes, Howie's full health. Okie dokes. Oh, in that case, we go to Dimitri. You cannot at all see him. You instead kind of hear that faint laughter as he hopped away, echoing in your mind as sort of a guilt mark of shame, if you will. I think it's... Ooh, that's a good... Yeah, I think. That's a lot. Oh. Okay, you can restore a number of hit points. Okay, oh no, so basically, yeah, you can expend 5. So yeah, it's a fixed number. So you have, at this point, it's I guess it's, yeah. And if it's, you spend at least 5 at one time, it also removes poison. But, well, no, you can, sorry, if you remove 5, you can remove poison, but it doesn't restore health at that point. This man, this man recovers through the, just through the sheer force of glam. To throw it back at Din. You heard his laughter, and you can hear the creaking of footsteps on the causeways north of you, but you cannot at all see where in the darkness it's coming from. And with your passive perception, you're definitely struggling through all the ruckus, although the bagpipes at least have long since stopped. Yeah, he's in the foggy range at the moment. But he's clearly, looks like he's got eyes locked on Maxwell. Okay. Yeah, it's a disadvantage, but if you... Oh, you want to move towards him? Okay, yeah, you start moving along the causeway that he sort of moved it along, and you're cutting into the view. Okay. Oh, hit the wrong thing. Yeah, and 9, unfortunately, is going to miss. As this guy... Yeah, he ducks a little bit, and his ears part, and you shave like a little bit of hair above his head. A hair, if you will. It's a hair close. I would say that he's within 20 feet now, and you probably moved about 15 or so at this point. Okay. Oh, so your full move speed? Roll me a d8. Oh, you have 40? Okay, so 15, 15. Okay. At half, that's still a total of, let's see, you move 15 down. So if you're moving at half pace, that's 30. You only have 10 more feet of movement left. So you can only move a little bit back. You're on your way, but you're not quite, there's still a gap between you and Maxwell. A gap that Agdon was fortunately hoping to jump upon. And he's going to brandish his iron at you, Maxwell, first. And let's see, first attack does a oh, well, I'm assuming an 8 misses. He is going to sigh and surprise, this broadside of a barn's got a little bit more of a nimble in them toes, and goes for an 11, which I'm assuming misses with your mage armor nonetheless. It bounces off your blubber. Boom. And he takes a few steps back, cautiously. As we go to the clown show. This guy back here, I think... Yeah, he's actually going to drop his club, and he's afraid of you, Dimitri. And so like he's going to keep himself in the range for to keep you within sight for the fog, and is readying a sling at you. But a 9, he just sort of like bounces off your armor, just pink. Ow. Well then, and then he kind of shuffles a little bit towards Maxwell instead. Still out of range of you, but quietly moving that way. Oh, I didn't mean to go back. And then we go to the 2 goons over here. First guy, the one who Howie bloodied, he's going to try and return with some bruising. With a crit for 6 bludgeoning. And then he is going to try and leap back into the and try to escape into the fog. He's hoping that you're stunned enough to not. Well, actually, you do have your weapon out now, though. So, do you react? Okie dokes. 13 misses, but barely. As he just, yep, he cuts it by just a hair's margin. His lucky rabbit's foot proved very, very useful as he clears the distance and narrowly escapes your ire as his buddy follows up from behind to move forward. And does a 12? Actually, yeah, 12 absolutely misses, unfortunately. But now he's locked in the fray with you. Actually, he probably still could jump back, but he can't make it to the fog because his buddy's in the way. We go to a shy. Correct. Oh, you certainly can. How many spears do you have? Okay. Yeah. Well, if you go get it. Okay, so you'd have to, because it is still on the deck, I'll say. Ooh, that's really loud, my bad. As you're able to, moving through an ally space, unless you have a feature that says otherwise, requires it's like counts as difficult terrain. So it takes 10 feet of movement to move past Howie. Luckily, it was like right here, like right in front of him. So it would take 20 feet to move up, grab it, and move back. Or 20. You could move up and chuck it at the guy far away, even, because you would be able to see him through the fog at that point. Up to you. Yeah, the one that is sort of like retreating into the fog that you actually hit, you could try and follow up if you moved past Howie and kind of cautiously moved around him, and then cautiously moved back. You could reasonably get a toss-off, and the only advantage you have is his buddy is being a literal meat shield, giving him just a slight defensive advantage. Okay. Okay. You've acquired 1 spear. You still have your action, then. Oh, yeah. Because just picking it up would be an interaction. He's a pretty good distance from you at the moment. Just barely in, like, the visible fog range. Almost outside of it. Okay. Then we go to Howie. You've had a bit of a scoocheroo from a shy. And now you've got the 2 guys on the back foot. And the one a hair between a drake and a lard place. Not without running and risking something happening. Okie dokes. Well, if it's... yeah. Gotcha. Okay, fair enough. Fairly flavorful. In fact, yeah, but I'll say interaction to grab your bow in your free hand, and at that point, mechanically, you're taking the dodge action. We go to Maxwell. We've got one visible in the fog south of you, and Agdon a silhouette to the west. Dimitri is still looking pretty roughed up. Howie is a glass half full. Glass half full kind of health bar. Yeah, a slight like massaging motion of like a butler's cleaning cloth wipes your brow. Oh no! Except Reginald is the vehicle. He's expending his reaction to do so. So, let's see that healing. Yeah, as Reginald's just wiping the pain from your brow. What? No. 19? 8 plus 7. What, first level? Where's the extra D8 coming from? It is 2D8? Oh, it's the new one! Oh god, you're right. Holy crap. Yeah, you felt a surge of vitality wash over you. This was the best wet napkin you've ever had slide across your head. Holy smokes indeed. Holy strokes. So yep, that's your action. Anything else? And Reginald's reaction. Also, I'm going to... I need to check to see... I'm going to say for now, it doesn't end his invisibility, but I do need to double check in the future to see if that technically would end his invisibility. Gameplay wise, it would make sense, but I can't off the cuff since he's not casting the spell. He's just using his reaction. That's the nuance I find actually kind of dull. I like the idea of you being just like, why the hell are people getting healthy? That is I'll see where this goes. If it proves to be a problem, I'll look into it, but we'll see where it goes. And if that's all from you, we'll go to Dimitri. Yeah, with each... yeah, oh, okay. Yeah, I was about to say if you were approaching the other one. In fact, give me a perception check as you are... oh no, never mind. You can't... yeah, not at all. He's further back. You didn't actually bump into him. Just this scene, it's still theater of the mind here. So yeah, so you cautiously move your way back up. Got your action and bonus action. Okay. You expend those lay on hand charges, and as you go to like try and wipe the blight from your eyes, you find it unsuccessful. But roll me Arcana with advantage when you're doing this. Yeah, you have the feeling that this might be something more curse adjacent at this point. as you go and as you wipe your eyes and catch a glimpse of the brand on the bit of exposed flesh where it marked you. And I need to check you real quick here. How much is this way? Ooh. Okay. Has to be, yep, okay. Yeah, it's so no action or anything else? Or is, because I thought lay on hands was a bonus action. Okay. I guess either case, I would say disadvantage, but he's also, it's going to, like, for the sake of the compound, yeah, it's going to count as like he's behind cover at this point. In terms of like in the fog, and your Maxwell's guessing he's like down the way. And he, oh. Yeah, that just, your javelin sails into the fog, and you hear it thunk into some wood somewhere. Barely is a choice of words. But is that all? Yep. Cautiously, and emerging out of the fog with a grin, creaking along the boards, before jumping on the platform perpendicular to you, Maxwell. The scarf once more is flourished in your face, and in that moment, what is your passive perception? 15, okay. Let me roll a thingy real quickie. Yep. Okay. And as he brushes the cloak over you, he then brandishes his iron and attempts once to hit you once more, whiffing with a 10, but sailing back down with a 25 to hit. Then he hits you for 9. He hits you for 9 fire damage, and he disappears before your eyes. Before Ashai, you see him backing up just a little bit from Maxwell, creating a small pocket of space. And we go to the brigands, who one is going to look at Dimitri there, get just within range as best he can, trying not to get any closer so as to attempt a, getting within fisticuffs range, and pelts you with a measly 11 sling bolt, ricocheting off your armor once more. Whereas these two bozos are going to get their slings out and are going to follow suit, and they're just going to crest out of the fog. So one is basically 15 feet from you, Howie, and the other is 20 feet. And they are just going to commit themselves now to try and sling at you. So first one, 19 to hit for 4 bludgeoning. And the second one, 10, so that one's probably going to be a miss. Before they both jump back at the same time 20 feet. We go to Ashai. Currently, Agdon, the blue scarf one, is actually quite close to you. He is 5 feet from Maxwell, so maybe 10 feet, 15 feet diagonally from you. The other one with the sling who took a shot at Dimitri is in the kind of silhouetted part of the fog, though. Also, at the start of your next turn, Maxwell, roll me perception. The ducks are going off at the door. Ooh. Okay, okay. It's actually a very interesting... Oh, you know, I know how to rule it then. Yeah, that one makes sense. Let me roll the save because it might not even matter anyway. And I think it would be big enough. I would say it's actually big enough to hit both the Herongon and Agdon. So both of them are going to roll saves here. Is... Okay, and then this little fellow. This one does not have advantage. Okay, so Agdon sort of, as your eruption of glowing motes kind of ensorcels him, he goes and brushes it off with a swirl and flourish of his scarf. But the buddy next to him is not so lucky and becomes like glowing beacon for all to see. So this fella is absolutely affected by your fairy fire. And feel free to describe how it looks, because that's a very flavorful opportunity. If you want to cook on it, you're allowed. Okay, okay. Like moonlight on the summer's evening. Okie dokes. Well, that's your action. Do you have also have a bonus action? Okie dokes. Yeah. Oh, wait, no, that would be your action, I'm afraid. Yeah, Fairy Fire takes an action to cast. Oh, okay then. Then we go to Howie. You can see Agdon within... He's probably about within 20 feet of you, so he's within range. But the other two bozos have retreated into the thicker fog and have become silhouettes. However, the one that Ashai is marked up, even though it's in the thick fog, the nice glow he's applied to it has given you a really good opportunity to not have any disadvantage in trying to attack it. Because they cancel out. Okay. 30 at your movement speed, but you feel as though if you're moving it without moving at half speed here, you feel like you might be running a risk on one of these boards. You can move 15 feet, no worries. It would be still a disadvantage. I will say, like, it's not a guarantee that you'll break a board. You'll just roll a d8. There's a chance. So if you wanted to risk it for the biscuit. Oh wait, you're a rogue. You could move at half speed, but still bonus action dash. So you're tippy-toeing. Honestly, flavorfully, I would see it as like you are applying your inquisitive nature and remembering which boards felt solid from before, and you're kind of like cautiously skipping across the ones that you remember are safe with that bonus action. And you can move your full distance on this turn in that way. You just see him tiptoeing away. And at the further one or the closer one? Okay. Good lord. Yeah, that's gonna hit. Just a... Boss, I don't know if it's worth it. As both of them seem to be just about this similarly injured at this point. It looks like you got the bonus fixed, so that works. Yeah, you're 30 feet away from the rest of the group now. And with that, we go to Maxwell. You can only make out the faint silhouette of the closer one that Howie just hit, but you can kind of see clear as day, at least the one that Ashai lit up. But Agdon is gone. He hasn't tried to hide, but you do feel like he only stepped like 5 feet away from you. You just can't see the damn guy. I thought. Okay, sorry. Oh man, yeah, he's looking at you like he sees you scanning for Agdon, and then the sort of might as well shift of attention to him. His ears like lose a little bit of hope and begin to drift to the sides of his head as you're readying that Eldritch Blast. He is, I want to say, yeah, within range of you for a neutral roll. Oh no, advantage roll still. 25 hits. Oh yeah. He definitely is connected with that, but he is still pretty good. Still pretty in this fight. He did not like that though. Anything else? Okay. So you scooch and kind of shamble past Ashai. And after that, we go to Dimitri. You could probably walk to him on your turn, but you wouldn't be able to make it back. My mental image is like, yeah, it's panicked. It's like, you're approaching me. You're really approaching me. Okay. Well, roll that grapple. Roll that athletics. Yeah. Oh God. Fucking God. Yeah. he goes to just squirm out, becomes dead weight, and he's just like, no, 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 boss, this ain't worth it. Oh, here's who. He'll try to respond on his next turn. Roll me, although do roll me an intimidation. Yeah. Shortly after saying that, you start to feel kind of like a warm sensation kind of flowing onto your greaves. And splattering onto the dock. He's crying, but those ain't tears. Those aren't tears. We go to Agdon, who you see is just tiptoeing right up to you, Ashai, with this big grin on his face. Cautiously, one step at a time. You hear the creaking of the boards, Dimitri and Maxwell. But his delight in this is clear upon his face as he first whips his cloak over your face and let me see what your passive perception is. Okay. Ooh. Except you catch him attempting to you attempting oh wait. Yeah. Attempting to like rifle something out of your bags before he notices you going to protect your satchel, and he withdraws his hand and whips his iron towards you anyway, going for a 2 strikes. So first one, a 23 to hit. For 9 fire. And happy to have hit you, Howie. You weren't looking at it, but you hear Ashai cry out after a small bit of melee, and behind you lands Agdon once more. Remember me? As he attempts to make one more branding attack towards you. For 6 fire damage and a 20 to hit, I assume. You are unstable. Maxwell, you feel a presence within front of you. You heard it, and you definitely saw Howard get smacked by something. I will say, though, actually, you're not unstable. You just fall unconscious. They're special. They're non-lethal. He's doing non-lethal. Yeah. You're not yeah. So if you need to hit the stabilize button, go for it. But do roll me 1d4. Okay, so you will wake up after 2 hours. Unless you are healed. And then we go to the brigands, who, seeing that the biggest pain is out of the way, will both pop out of the fog and begin a salvo against Ashai. Actually, one towards Ashai, one towards Maxwell, each trying to clock you on the noggin. And I will say, though, I've gotten the... we probably will be wrapping this up soon. So 24 to hit for 6 damage against Ashai. And a crit against Maxwell for 10 bludgeoning. And we go to a shy. You know what? I'm just gonna risk it. Okay, so let's roll 2d4. And then we'll add 3 to that. Okay, well, we can count, so we're up to 6. 1 plus 2 plus 3. And Maxwell, you feel your consciousness kind of clamoring its way back. You still have your action, Ashai. Oh, actually, do roll me a concentration check. I believe it would just roll a con save. This is because you were hit by that one thing. Oh, okay. So when that, oh, I didn't hit for that damage. It was 6. Yeah. There we go. When that clocked you, it interrupted your song and caused the fairy fire to cease on the Herringon over here. And we go to, but you do have your action still. You can't see Agdon, but since he has made no attempt to hide himself, you can hear him and you can sense where he is. Hey. Oh, well, disadvantage, so roll a second time. Might get lucky. Because he is invisible right now. So even though you know where he is, trying to hit him is a disadvantage. Roll the attack one more time. Okay, unfortunately that does miss. Close though. Real close. Yeah, you hear the utterance of concern as it sails past. As we go to Howie. You are stable. I guess, yeah, since you're stable, you don't necessarily have to do death saves, so you just automatically are just laying there. As we go to Maxwell, you're prone, but alive and conscious at the moment. You can... He dashes over, causing his invisibility to fade given the distance he has to cross here. But he gets there, and he lands, and he's ready to administer... Ready for medication, sire. And see them heals. Oh yeah. You didn't hear no bell, Howie, as despite the fact that you were hurting earlier, you are back in the fray at 12. Ooh. I love it. I love it. Oh, no notes. Take inspiration. Have an inspiration. I love it. Also, for the intimidation, have an inspiration too. And I'll probably end it at the end of this round, but we will pick up and continue. In fact, as we go to Dimitri, the guy is... he is... Tomorrow won't be working anymore. Okay, okay. I just got a DM saying, I hope that character dies, lol. Love you too, sweetie. So. Uh, with, we go to Agdon now. With all of you branded, but you can't see him. You hear him leap up, but not before attempting a little quickie doodle with you. What's your passive perception? Oh boy, oh boy. Except he's got advantage because he's invisible. Okay, yeah, so let me take a little look-see here. As you plunged into the water, by the way, or your turn approached, give me that perception check, Maxwell. You don't notice anything off in particular. But I will say, ooh, that's delightful. Yeah, he'll take that. As the as you're on the ground, you hear like the creaking above you momentarily before leaping away, and you hear something land right behind you, Dimitri, as two attacks come at you, both with advantage. Both, well, one missing, but 8 fire damage hits you from behind. But you notice that there's no movement after. Wait, you notice that there's a slight bit of movement away from you, but not far, only 5 feet. And the brigands themselves, seeing Howie drawing breath one more time, are both going to still with their slings, even though he's prone, try to hit him at disadvantage. For some reason, I was almost rolled with your character sheet, and I was very confused. So, I think it's control. I'm trying to remember what the key is for. Oh, I'll just do it this way. So a 10 misses. Does a 14 hit you? Oh, also, roll me a con save for that Shield of Faith. So we're about to see if that hits you. Oh yeah, you keep it. So yeah, both one sling sails off into the water and the other is shielded by that, well, once more, even though I'm pretty sure the AC was fine. For flavor, I'm going to keep it in there. As we go to Ashai, you hear something maybe 10 feet away from Dimitri in the other direction. Howie's fighting with something off in the distance, and that one Haragon you intimidated is in the water, swimming away. Actually, swimming towards his skiff, to be honest. He's trying to get away. He's going to use that to get away. Oh, by the way, yeah, Ashai, you're ending the night, so you get to cap it off. Oop. Nope, there we go. So how do you finish, make the last move for the encounter and set us up for next time on Game Grumps? I'm surprised, do you have Bardic Inspiration? Oh, you do. Sam, you there? Or did you mute accidentally? You know what? Great example. My legs just like the But yeah, you're up. You're up. Uh, most of them are retreating. They're so far the only one still engaged with the fight seems to be egged on himself because he thinks he's different like that. And the two brigands who now have a grudge with Howie. They are in the one is in the silhouette distance, one is too far away to even see. And the other guy, you can see him kind of splashing the water, but he's crying and pissing and shitting himself as he's getting to this skiff to get away. Okay, you know what? That I'll give an inspiration for that one too. Which is I don't know if it's been brought up with you, but inspiration it works like kind of for better or for worse. It works like how it works in Baldur's Gate, and I think rules is written now. You're allowed to hold up to three. I think I might be mistaken. There might actually be a human only thing. And the other thing is, oh, the I always like Jack's extra rule that he had, where instead of if you didn't want to do advantage, and you're using inspiration before you make the roll, you can add a +5. Like you can choose before you make the roll to add a +5 instead of giving advantage if you already have advantage or something. I like that. It's right up there with the potion rule of bonus action for rolling, and if you use your action, you get the whole value. Yeah, you're making the final decision of the night. I will say though, I am curious what Dimitri's plan is if this weighs into what you want to do. Just, God, I can't. Hold on, excuse me. So embarrassing. It's like a lot heavier than you're expecting. It's like Hulk handing you a taco. Javelin. This albino tiefling is now pink. Somehow the hair is turning flush. The clothes. Crimson, you're turning crimson. Okay, that's fair. Yeah. Achieving your spirit. I'll say as part of the plan. I'm intuiting that you probably meant to like do a bardic inspiration to kind of stack the buffs in Dimitri's favor then, so that way he can add that D8 later. To be honest, I'm willing to say that initiative itself is more or less down to not really being a thing. So it's really just two separate encounters at this point. So, Howie, how would you like to finish your encounter? Would you like to let them get away, or would you like to fight them? Because it looks like they are not ready for you to get back up. Okay. Roll it. Because I think we might be able to actually finish this encounter tonight, because we're actually pretty close. Howie's out for blood. You know, something about this tollway makes at least one character a bloodlusty monster. Oh boy. Yeah, he's gone. He's like, remember, Brindlewick. Ugh. As he's aghast at of course the human. Of course, the human would bring such bloodlust here. And honestly, I think we actually could continue and just wrap this up because you guys are close enough. Maxwell, what do you do? Schlorp. So disadvantage, 3/4 cover, let her rip, climbing up the pole, hand out, sending some flab. Well, that's... Oh, wait, no, not with the cover. So, like, unfortunately, the boards were in the way on your ascension, but you weren't able to quite... Because, like, you have to... Clambering up these poles is like a 20-foot climb. So, like, you barely make it up here and heave your way over. Because you were up... The water clears some of the distance. And you try to make a blast at him, but it doesn't quite connect. And then we go to Dimitri. Is the potion of advantage a bonus action? That was healing potions, my bad. Wow, you know what? For the rule of cool, I'm gonna allow it just because it's fun. Because I like what you guys are doing here. As you guys are approaching. So you've got advantage for this, so it cancels out the disadvantage. Okay, okay. And... Yep. Yep. Roll that, oh yeah, plus your 5. Plus your, do you have that, roll that D8 from, or what's the Bardic Inspiration die at the moment? Is it a D8 or a D6 at the moment? Well, let's make sure we get the die right. The Bardic Inspiration die. Oh, it says D8? Oh, it is D8? Oh. D6. Okay, so roll a D6 instead. Yeah. Okay. 24? Okay. Well, let me check one little thing, because it might be... Actually, it's not good enough, but as you're grabbing him, you instead... Let me double check this little bit here, because you might have done some... You might have grabbed something better. Because you fail to grab anything humanoid, but fabric instead sort of wraps around your hands, and you reactively grasp it firmly. So as he's escaping, you feel this... Oh yeah, you definitely, with that, making easily... Oh, no, you failed to grab him, but you feel the scarf sliding in your hand as you reflexively grab it, and you feel it come taut as you hold it steady, and a tremble at the other end. Oh yeah. As you're pulling it towards you, you feel like you're... Yeah, he falls... You feel something fall to the deck, And hold on. Okay, yeah, it doesn't break, but it threatens to give way as you start dragging something that's rolling side to side, trying to desperately, blubberingly not be captured. As he surrenders, verbatim, blubbering and pleading for his life like a coward. As he fails to escape with... Actually, he does get one chance to try and escape. Oh, wait, apparently. Let me roll. I don't think he's going to make it because, good lord. You rolled a nat 20, but you know what? I'm not going to punish you guys at this point. Because... Wait, hold on. Try to grab the scarf. Character, 50 feet. Oh, no, wait, no. The first check. Okay. Nope, nope, nope. You're fine. The first check still rides. Because otherwise it would have been too, like, you're fine. You barely got him by, like, 1. Like, it was close. Everything was needed. And with that 1 victory, he is begging for his life and combat is over. We will resume next time with Agdon Longscarf wishing he wore the Bram pants. And thank you all for joining. We'll see you all when we next come together. Ciao. Cheers.